Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. Rumour has it that the Celtic board might be plotting what could be the most sensational move in Scottish football history, setting their sights on none other than James Tavernier, the fiery and ever-passionate right-back of Rangers. Sources whisper that the conversations have already begun behind closed doors, with club officials possibly dangling a lucrative contract in front of the player who has long been considered untouchable by supporters across Ibrox. Imagine the shockwaves this would send through the old firm rivalry, a transfer that could redefine decades of competitive tension between Glasgow's fiercest adversaries. Tavernier's attacking prowess, his uncanny ability to deliver pinpoint crosses and rocket-like free kicks has made him a darling of the Rangers faithful, but now whispers suggest Celtic see him as the missing piece to elevate their tactical ambitions. Analysts speculate that the move isn't purely about on-field performance, it's about sending a message, shaking the foundations of the rivalry, and asserting dominance in ways that go beyond mere league standings. Fans on social media are already theorizing about how the transfer could impact team chemistry, whether existing stars at Celtic would welcome a former Ibrox captain, and how manager strategies might need to adapt to accommodate such a high-profile acquisition. Insiders hint that negotiations may be delicate, with Rangers unlikely to release Tavernier without a fierce fight, potentially demanding astronomical compensation that could make even some Premier League clubs raise an eyebrow. Celtic, however, are rumoured to be ready to pull out all stops, possibly offering not just a fat wage packet, but also performance incentives, image rights deals, and even promises of leadership roles within the squad. The psychological implications are immense. A player switching from Rangers to Celtic isn't merely a transfer, it's almost a statement of intent, a declaration that old boundaries can be challenged if the right vision is pursued. There's talk that Tavernier himself has been weighing the proposition carefully, torn between loyalty to a club that shaped his identity and the allure of writing an entirely new chapter in his career at a direct rival. Football pundits have started to dissect the potential formations Celtic might deploy with him on board, debating whether his forward surges would fit seamlessly into their current system or whether it would necessitate a complete tactical overhaul. Speculators suggest that if this transfer goes through, it could trigger a domino effect in Scottish football, inspiring other players to consider moves once deemed unthinkable. Social media communities are buzzing with debate, polarized opinions, and imaginative what-if scenarios, painting Tavernier as either a traitor or a genius, depending on where loyalties lie. Supporters of both clubs are conjuring dramatic narratives, Rangers fans preparing for heartbreak, Celtic fans fantasizing about historic dominance, and neutrals speculating on how this transfer could redefine the old firm clash for generations. Meanwhile, journalists hint at backroom maneuvers, suggesting that agents and intermediaries are quietly shaping the deal, whispering to both sides about timing, clauses, and bonuses in ways that could tip the balance at any moment. There's also speculation that Tavernier's potential move is more than just about Glasgow. European football circles are allegedly watching closely, wondering if a player switching old, firm allegiances could influence market value perceptions, sponsorship deals, and brand image on a continental scale. The mere possibility of him in a Celtic jersey has pundits imagining his synergy with current stars, how his leadership qualities could galvanize younger players, and how his familiarity with Rangers' strategies could offer Celtic a competitive edge in every clash. Conversations over casual pints and online forums alike are dominated by one burning question: would he thrive, or would the weight of expectation crush even a player as seasoned as Tavernier? Whispers also suggest that this isn't a spontaneous idea. Sources claim Celtic have been monitoring Tavernier's form for seasons, analyzing his strengths, weaknesses, and potential fit into their long-term blueprint. There's speculation that internal analytics teams have prepared dossiers comparing him with every right-back option in Europe, and that Tavernier stands out not only for his skill but also for his mental resilience in high-pressure environments. The audacity of such a move could redefine recruitment strategy in Scottish football, signaling that no player is off limits and that the rivalry, no matter how storied, might be subject to dramatic reconfigurations in the modern era. Some suggest that beyond tactical reasons, the deal could carry symbolic weight. A Celtic player signing from Rangers sends a message to opponents' fans and aspiring talents about ambition, fearlessness, and a willingness to challenge tradition. Football blogs are already crafting elaborate narratives about how Tavernier could adapt to Celtic's culture, how fans would respond, and whether the historic old firm dynamics would shift from mere rivalry to a saga of personal reinvention and audacious loyalty flips. The very idea seems surreal to many, but insiders insist the groundwork is quietly underway. And what seems like fantasy today could be headlines tomorrow. Meanwhile, social media trends show hashtags and memes exploding, some mocking the idea, some celebrating it, but all amplifying the buzz around this potential transfer. Commentators speculate on every angle: contractual clauses, potential injuries, managerial preferences, and even personal motivations. Tavernier's family and private life are rumored to play a part, as moving across Glasgow could have broader implications than merely changing jerseys. Some pundits suggest that Celtic might be offering him opportunities to expand influence beyond football, such as ambassadorial roles or future coaching positions, adding layers of appeal to the proposition. Fan forums are alight with strategy debates. How would Celtic line up with Tavernier, charging down the right flank? How would his overlapping runs transform attack patterns? And what defensive compromises might the team face? The speculation grows wilder by the day, with every news outlet, podcaster, and forum contributor theorizing on the ripple effects from ticket sales to merchandising, painting a picture that goes far beyond sport into culture and identity. And yet, amid all this speculation, a lingering question persists. Is this really feasible, or is it the footballing equivalent of a blockbuster dream? Those close to the clubs suggest that Celtic's hierarchy are weighing risks carefully, understanding that signing Tavernier would ignite both awe and outrage in equal measure. Negotiations, if they are happening, are likely a delicate dance, balancing egos, finances, fan expectations, and competitive integrity. Rumors hint at secret meetings, coded communications, and even potential ultimatums, suggesting that this is far from a straightforward acquisition. Some insiders speculate that if the deal collapses, the backlash could be enormous, potentially souring relations between players, managers, and even fans for years. Nevertheless, The very notion of James Tavernier in the Celtic shirt has captured imaginations, dominating conversations from pubs in Glasgow to online fan communities worldwide. Even if the transfer remains purely speculative, it serves as a catalyst for discussions about loyalty, ambition, rivalry, and the ever-changing landscape of modern football. If James Tavernier were to swap the red and blue of Rangers for the green and white hoops of Celtic, the repercussions would be felt far beyond Glasgow, sending tremors throughout Scottish football and beyond. Rumours suggest that such a move could fundamentally alter the psyche of both squads, forcing managers to rethink formations, strategies, and even motivational techniques. Celtic supporters might see it as a coup of almost mythic proportions, a declaration that no player is untouchable, while Rangers fans could feel a profound sense of betrayal, struggling to reconcile loyalty with ambition. Insiders speculate that Tavernier's potential transfer could spark a wave of similar moves in the future as players begin to weigh personal ambition against historic allegiance, changing the dynamics of old firm transfers forever. Analysts imagine how Tavernier's presence at Celtic might influence matches not just through goals and assists, but through leadership, communication, and the intimate knowledge of Rangers' tactical tendencies he brings. Social media debates are already swirling, with some fans predicting legendary clashes and others warning of unprecedented fan backlash, painting a picture of a transfer that is as psychological as it is sporting and one that could dominate headlines for months, if not years. Financial speculation surrounding Tavernier's rumoured transfer is intense, with talk of contracts that could break long-standing wage structures in Scottish football. Sources hint that Celtic might be willing to offer performance-based incentives, loyalty bonuses, and even image rights arrangements that rival deals seen in bigger European leagues, all in a bid to secure a player who could shift the balance of power. Observers suggest that this would not only affect the on-field competition but could also ignite merchandising boom, sponsorship interest, and global media attention, transforming Celtic's brand almost overnight. Meanwhile, pundits theorize about the psychological battle being waged behind the scenes, with Rangers possibly employing every tactic to retain their captain, from loyalty appeals to public messaging designed to sway fan sentiment. The narrative is rife with tension. If Tavernier moves, it could signify a bold new era of audacious transfers, but if he stays, it cements his legendary status within Rangers lore. Either way, the speculation alone has captured imaginations, with every article, podcast, and fan discussion dissecting motivations, finances, and long-term implications as if preparing for a dramatic saga rather than a football transaction. Behind the scenes, sources hint at a chess-like maneuvering between agents, club executives, and managerial staff, each side attempting to gain leverage without tipping their hand publicly. There is talk of personal meetings, secret contracts, and exploratory discussions that never make it to the press, all suggesting that the deal, if real, is moving forward with extreme caution. Analysts speculate that Tavernier himself may be testing waters, subtly gauging fan sentiment, managerial attitudes, and his own appetite for such a risky career move. Some insiders even suggest that this could be part of a larger strategic plan by Celtic to destabilize Rangers, using high-profile acquisitions not just to strengthen their squad, but to weaken the psychological resilience of their rival. Football forums are ablaze with wild theories, from Tavs deliberately planting hints on social media to signal interest, to pundits imagining the exact tactics he could use to exploit weaknesses in his former team. It is a web of intrigue, loyalty, and ambition, with every rumor magnified and analyzed in painstaking detail, giving fans the sense of being part of a clandestine saga rather than mere spectators of sport. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The potential impact on the Old Firm rivalry is almost incalculable, according to speculation. Supporters and commentators alike suggest that if Tavernier dons green and white, every encounter between Celtic and Rangers would carry heightened drama, every tackle and pass imbued with layers of personal and historical significance. Analysts have even theorized that Tavernier's familiarity with Rangers' training methods, set-piece routines, and player tendencies could give Celtic a strategic edge, creating a tactical arms race that might elevate the intensity of matches to unprecedented levels. Meanwhile, social media is awash with imagined scenarios. What if he scores against his former club? What if he provides assists that decide tight games? And how would supporters react in real time? The psychological element is just as critical as the physical, and pundits speculate that Tavernier could become a lightning rod for emotion, embodying both admiration and controversy simultaneously. In a world where football stories are often predictable, the mere possibility of this transfer has already achieved something rare. It has captured global attention, making casual observers curious and hardcore fans restless, proving the enduring power of the Old Firm saga to ignite passions far beyond the stadium. Rumors also suggest that the managerial strategy at Celtic would undergo a subtle yet profound transformation if Tavernier were signed. Analysts imagine that his attacking instincts, particularly on the right flank, could allow the manager to experiment with formations that emphasize width, overlapping runs, and aggressive pressing, creating opportunities that were previously untapped. Some speculate that younger players might benefit from his leadership, learning not just technical skills, but the psychological toughness acquired in high-stakes matches. Others hint at possible tension, theorizing that existing Celtic stars might feel threatened or unsettled by the arrival of such a high-profile former rival. Yet the allure is undeniable. A player of Tavernier's caliber, with proven leadership and unmatched commitment, could galvanize a team, lift morale, and become the symbolic figurehead for a new era. Media outlets are reportedly monitoring every nuance of the story, teasing fans with cryptic updates, rumors of signed pre-contracts, and subtle hints of official confirmation, keeping anticipation at fever pitch while the city of Glasgow collectively holds its breath, wondering whether fantasy might become reality. Ultimately, whether James Tavernier's move to Celtic materializes or not, the speculation has already reshaped conversations around loyalty, ambition, and rivalry in Scottish football. Insiders suggest that even flirtations with the idea have long-term implications, influencing fan culture, merchandising strategies, and managerial approaches for seasons to come. Commentators theorize that if the transfer were to happen, it might encourage other high-profile players to consider moves previously deemed unthinkable, challenging traditional boundaries and rewriting what is considered acceptable in the context of Old Firm allegiances. Social media remains alight with passionate debate, from hypothetical starting lineups to imagined headlines, while podcasts dissect every subtle clue and gesture as though assembling a complex puzzle. Regardless of the eventual outcome, The Tavernier to Celtic saga exemplifies the drama, unpredictability, and emotional intensity that make football more than just a sport, elevating it to theatre, strategy, and social phenomenon. The rumour alone, with all its layers of intrigue, is already a story that will be told and retold for years, capturing imaginations and keeping fans on tenterhooks in a way few transfers ever could. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.